I said in my main review video of the DJI Osmo Pocket 4P that D-Log2 is meant for more controlled situations because you do not have auto ISO, and that is exactly what I've done. I shot a sequence of scenes that you saw earlier on D-Log2 using artificial light, so everything is under my control. Now, I'm going to explain to you how to expose and most importantly, how I color grade D-Log2 footage. Quick disclaimer though, there are many ways to skin a chicken, so the things that I'm doing might be wrong, but it works for me and I'm sticking to it. So first of all, here are my settings on the screen right now. I'm shooting in 25 FPS. I've set the shutter speed to 1/50th of a second for natural motion blur. My ISO is set to 800, which DJI recommends because it gives you the most dynamic range. So you want to keep the exposure somewhere about +1 EV as you do when you're shooting log footage, so you can actually bring it down in post. It will eliminate most of the noise that you will get at ISO 800. Now let me take you to my laptop and I'll show you exactly how to grade D-Log and D-Log2 footage. So before we get into the whole grading thing, I'm going to try to sell you something. So I'm releasing a pack of LUTs specially made for the DJI system. I've made the LUTs compatible for D-Log-M, D-Log and D-Log2. And now all you do when you want to use the LUTs is to create 3 nodes, and we can slide 1 LUT in. It will be overexposed because, as I said earlier, you will be overexposing your footage and you will bring it down in post. Create 3 nodes, bring down the exposure from the HDR wheel to taste, go to the second node, right click, change your gamma into linear, go to your contrast, change it to 0.339 because it's the airy skin tone thing. I don't know how much it affects things, but yeah, I'm quite used to doing that. Increase your contrast, and then that's basically it. Go back to your global, increase the exposure a little bit, and you're done. That's basically the way to use my LUTs. Of course, we're going to dive deep into a little bit of masking in a bit. So I'm going to show you a simple node tree. I'm not going to make it complicated. The sequence you saw earlier had a few effects here and there, and you will need to be in the Pro Studio version of DaVinci Resolve. So I'm going to try as much as possible to use the free version, what's available anyway on the free version of it. Okay, let's get started. One of the first things you want to do is to download a set of LUTs from DJI themselves, which will actually convert your D-Log2 footage into Rec. 709. Go onto DJI's website and download the 65 size versions of the conversion LUTs. I only use one. I only use the D-Log2 to Rec. 709. I do not use the D-Log2 to Vivid. Basically, once you've downloaded the LUT, you can apply it. So D-Log2 to Rec. 709, again, it is overexposed, obviously. Now, we want to massage the footage. We want to bring down exposure, first of all. You want to work on your primaries, you want to work on your exposure before the conversion LUT because reasons. Anyway, let's continue. Go to a frame where you feel that it is the hero shot in the footage itself, where something is preferably sharp and what have you, and you have enough skin tone showing. I also want to increase the contrast a little bit, so I will go to Control, go to Gamma, go to Linear, and then go to set this at 0.339, increase the contrast till it's all right, till it's, yeah, contrasty enough. The reason why this footage isn't that contrasty is because we have some glare or flare coming in from the light in the corner, in the top left-hand corner right here. So yeah, this is fine. This is actually a bit underexposed. So I want to decrease the contrast a little bit more. Now we have a lot of space here. We have a lot of space underneath here. So we want to create a node after this, after the primary exposure correction, and then go to curves, turn it down a little bit so we actually have some more blacks, and boost a bit of the exposure. This is the fun part. So you want to create 3 parallel nodes right after this. So you go to you hit Option S, Option P, that will be for your masking, and we will now start working on the main look. I want to keep it simple this time, so I'm going to just give it that standard teal and orange look. Anyways, we are going to go to your primary wheels and change and introduce a bit of teal to your shadows, a bit of orange to your gamma, and then this is a strange bit that I like to do. I like to introduce a bit of green in the highlights. So there you go. Go back to the curves, maybe add a bit of contrast by giving it a bit of an S-curve right here. Push it up right here. There you go. So this is my favorite part about grading actually. So I like to use a combination of power windows and the magic mask. If you do not have the magic mask, don't worry, you can also use power windows, but you will need to track it. Magic mask, you need to track it anyway. So this is what I do. The first thing I will do is to accentuate the lights. So I want to use a linear gradient, Shift H to see what I'm doing. Accentuating it, I like to go to HDR, increase the exposure a little bit. Go to the temperature, increase the temperature a little bit so it's a bit warmer. And then I want to go to sharpen, I want to go to mist. I want to increase it just a tad bit so it feels more natural, it feels more like the sun, it feels like the light is bouncing around the room, catching a bit of dust and what have you. Second window, actually we'll go to the third parallel node right now. This is where I introduce and accentuate my shadow, sort of like a negative fill, if you will. So I go here, add another linear gradient. I want to guide the eye of the viewer to me as the subject instead of everywhere else. So you have a lot of green here, and the green fake plant is quite bright, so I like to just get here, go to HDR again, lower down the exposure a slight bit. So now all of a sudden, your eye is directed at me rather than the tree itself. It shapes your light a little bit better. Now the middle bit is where I use the magic mask, but in this case, because some of you do not have magic masks, I'm not sure anyway, I am just going to use a power window and then track the power window to increase my exposure and increase my clarity to give it a bit of pop. Just feather the mask out quite severely, go to your tracker, I like to turn off 3D, I like to turn off rotate, zoom can be on, and we want to track it back and forth. So give it some time to track. And then I like to go to HDR, exposure, increase the exposure a little bit. I want to also further give me a bit of temperature, just a bit, tiny moves, nothing large. And then increase the tint a little bit to give me a bit of a pinkish sort of like skin tone to it, which, yeah, healthier skin and what have you. This is basically done. So we went from log footage, which is desaturated and what have you, to sort of this. There you go. So that is my basic cinematic grade, and of course you can add grain later on and what have you, whatever have you. You can go into deeper things as you color grade, as you learn, but here's me being completely honest, I would prefer it if you actually bought my LUTs. So anyway, let me demonstrate some of the LUTs and what they do. Going to turn off the conversion LUT here, and then going to turn this, reset this thing. So we are going to use the LUTs that I will be linking in the description below. And if you want to support the channel, the quickest way to do it is to purchase my LUTs. I made 7 of them. They're honestly based on my Lightroom presets. If you see any of my photographs on Lightroom, they will be quite similar. My favorite one possibly for this kind of footage is Ryujin. It is sort of like the most dramatic with a heavy shadow lift, faded out look, which will give you the most drama. So let me show you what happens if we actually so you go from this to this. So obviously you need to adjust some things as well. You go back to your power window. You don't need a temperature change. You don't need a tint change as well. And then you go to your HDR. You adjust the exposure to suit your needs. We're going to this preset right here. It's called Dojin. It gives you some sort of like an earthy toned, desaturated film sort of look. Fujin is a weird one because Fujin, I actually created this. Let me lower the exposure a little bit. It gives a more neutral look. It gives you a more sort of like cinematic, but sort of like a commercial look to it. So if you have some sort of like a spec ad, so maybe for a shoe or a brand or a t-shirt, and you don't want to change the colors too much, but you still want that slight cinematic look, go for this LUT. Don't stack the LUTs because they have conversion LUTs in them already built into them. The LUT will come in 3 different versions. As I said earlier, it will come in D-Log M, it will come in D-Log, and it will come also in D-Log 2. So for those of you who are still on the Pocket 3 or anything DJI that still uses D-Log M, it's still usable. So again, Shenhua LUTs pack, linked down in the description below. Probably just of vanity's sake, I'm going to play that sequence of footage again. Right, see you in the next video.